Hatched is directed by Flying Lotus and stars Eiza Gonzalez and Aaron Paul. A woman wakes up on a distant planet and finds the crew of her space station viciously killed. Her investigation into what happened sets in motion a terrifying chain of events. I remember seeing a lot of ads on my Instagram about this film, and I thought to myself, I haven't seen a true sci-fi film in a long time in the theater, and I wanted to check this out for myself. I heard decent reviews about it. I like Eiza Gonzalez as an actress. I really like Aaron Paul as an actor. I haven't seen Breaking Bad, but the other stuff I've seen him in, and the clips I've seen him in Breaking Bad, he is an excellent actor. So I was really excited to see him take on a sci-fi role like this. And Eiza Gonzalez has been one of those actresses where I liked her as one of those side characters that characters will meet, like in Ambulance or in Hobbs and Shaw or in Baby Driver, which by the way is an excellent movie. Go check that out. I was interested to see what she brings to the table as a lead actress. And coming out of this film, I gotta say, this was decent. A pretty decent sci-fi film. The movie is not remarkable. It's not gonna change the world or break the boundaries of storytelling. But for what it is a really engaging story where someone is trying to piece their lives back together, and only bits and fragments occur every once in a while as she gets closer to the truth. And it may not be all what it seemed with Aaron Paul's character, as at first he seemed to be someone you can trust, until we realize a dark secret that lurks throughout the end of the film and what has really happened. And I'm not going to spoil too much about it, because this film is really gory and gets really crazy at the end. So much shit happens at the end that is very wild, and if you are a gore horror film kind of person, you are going to have a really good time with the ending of this film and a lot of the action that occurs with that. It's a lot of horror elements that's very reminiscent of Alien, and a lot of action that is pretty reminiscent of things like Upgrade. By the way, there's a nice little fight sequence that really did remind me of that near the end of the film, and so I was really hyped during those last few moments of the movie. It was just like one of the craziest things so far that I've seen this year in the theater. And I think there may be some crazier movies later on down the line, but this is going to be a hard one to top. It's not as crazy as something like Substance in terms of its gore and brutality, but there is a lot of crazy alien stuff that happens. And speaking of Alien, the whole sci-fi element of this film, the way it looks, the cinematography, I really liked. I liked the way the production design is helmed. This is a cheap movie. It doesn't have the biggest budget. You could tell at times that the green screen and some CGI effects are stretching themselves a little bit, but I liked how they were minimal and that the film was able to keep things as practical as they can. As I said, there's a lot of makeup and blood effects that are done practically, and you could tell, and it just made the whole experience all the more immersive. And it made some of the CGI effects less egregious, and because they're able to use very minimal CGI, the artists behind those effects were able to take their time and actually do those effects pretty well. Not perfect, you can tell it's CGI at times, but for the most part, the CGI is decent for what it is and doesn't detract from the experience. And as I said before, the cinematography is really good. I'm a sucker for high contrast or neon lights in my movies. Like, I don't need every movie to be that, because there are some movies out there that just have that and it doesn't fit the purpose of the story or setting, and I understand that. But as a personal preference, I like having a lot of high contrast colors and a lot of neon stuff as well. And this movie has a lot of high contrast colors, and it fits very well within this kind of story, as Eiza Gonzalez character and Aaron Paul are in this alien planet that they're trying to figure out how to escape. and to understand what has happened in this ship. And I really like the way this whole planet looks, how alien it is, and just how barren it is. You really do feel secluded in this one location for the most part, and you know that something weird is up from the very first shot, and the movie keeps you on your toes till the end of its runtime, which, by the way, this is a pretty tight film, and it doesn't drag too much, it doesn't waste your time. It's an hour and a half, and it's able to pace the story out very well for what it is, and nothing felt like it was taking too much time until the ending. I felt like the ending of the film was a bit too long. It started dragging out a bit too much at times, and felt a bit too egregious, and it kind of felt like it was trying to be artsy, you know? It tried to be like subvert your expectations. Like, it's trying to reveal something to you, then things happen one way, and then you think the movie ends with a certain cut, and I would have preferred it to end there, and then it decides to go on. I felt like the ending just went on a bit too long. I felt like it could have wrapped things up a little bit quicker, or cut in certain moments. Like, certain moments in this ending could have been like a perfect end, like a what the fuck moment, but no. It wanted to go on and have a real conclusive finale, and it just kind of didn't work completely. Though it might grow on me a little bit if I rewatch it again. As for the rest of the characters, they feel very superfluous and they don't contribute that much to the film, only as a motivation for the main character. Like, the crew is kind of one note. Like, you get their rapport, their dynamic, but they're not the most interesting characters in the world. They're just there to help progress the story along, and they work for that purpose alone. And as I said, there are a few effects here and there that don't look the best, and honestly as well, while I do like the practicality of this whole film, there's some locations where I felt like it could have been touched up a little bit more in terms of the art department and having it feel a lot more rusty, or had a little bit more stuff to do in the set. You could tell that they were working with a budget here. And not all the time the acting from Aaron Paul and Eiza Gonzalez is the best. Like, they're both really good in the film, but I felt like the film could have used these characters with a lot more personality. They could have had a lot more going on with them in terms of the way they interact with each other, because at times they do feel like they are in a self-informed kind of sci-fi film and not in a B-movie fun kind of sci-fi film. It just sometimes I feel like the movie has an identity problem. Does it just want to be a fun time, or does it want to do a little bit more? And all in all, I think for the most part it was able to work and be a fun time, but I don't know. It's just one of those movies where there are a few things holding it back. But all the fun elements, especially at the end, were really fun to watch. I like the overall aesthetic. The actors do a good job for the most part. I like the mystery element, and all in all, it was a really good time at the theater, and I don't regret my time watching this film. I'm going to give Ash a B. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.